So the governor of Oklahoma has came up with an idea, a plan, if you will, that a lot of people are upset about and got a problem with, but I personally don't have a problem with the concept. But let's hit it.
Also, I'm always talking about classrooms to careers. I want every kid ready for a career. And so I'm thinking about even making it a requirement to graduate from Oklahoma high schools. You've got to either be accepted to college, or you have to be accepted into a career tech, or you have to be going into the Army. You have to have some kind of plan post graduation to go get a great job. And I think that's something that our counselors and we can all be driving people for, because there's so many great jobs out there and we are made to work and be part of society. And so trying to help those young people get ready for the future, I think it's incumbent upon us as leaders to really set that stage and that expectations for people that they can accomplish whatever they set their mind to.
So his plan is called Classroom to Careers. And it started a controversy where a lot of people, like say, had something negative to say about it, and even had some lady on TikTok who said that this is actually in practice, which in truth is not. But again, I don't have really have a problem with it because let's be honest, what do we talk about a lot in the black community? We talk about this whole what they call it, to school to prison pipeline, where kids ain't learning, they can't read. We've already done videos on telling you how that they can that there's a study that shows if your kid can't read on a fourth grade level, by the time they're with the third or fourth grade, they can tell how many prisons they need to build in the future based on your kids' reading comprehension or reading skills. And so I press, hey, you need to teach your kids, you need to read to your kids, teach them how to read from hell, from inception, to tell you the truth. But anyway, we quick to talk about that class. What's that? School to prison pipeline and how bad it is, how negative it is. Well, this guy comes up with an idea saying, "Hey, in order to graduate from from our high schools, from Oklahoma high schools, you need to be accepted into some kind of school, some kind of trade, or in some or the military." Which to me, let's be honest. First, let's go back to if you don't work, you don't eat, you don't eat, you don't sleep. A man that doesn't work, can't eat. The Bible teaches you that a person is supposed to pretty much take care of himself. And you have too many people. Well, let's say like this. You got a lot of folks who don't know what they want to do in life. So they graduate high school not prepared. Number one, no school system not prepared to actually live in the real world, to take care of themselves. Times have changed. Back in the day, you probably really didn't have to have a high school diploma. Back in the day, you can graduate high school, go get an apartment, get a job, take care of your family, and whatever on whatever salary you have, and you can make it and be a productive member of society. And let that be the reason. Now, if you want to start a business, I mean, that's fine. If you want to be a worker, that's fine. But the opportunities were endless. Now the opportunities are also endless, but a lot of it, schooling is expensive, housing is expensive, taking care of yourself is harder. It's harder to just get up. Like I said, I graduated high school, went to college for about a semester, then boom, I was gone. I was out. You see what I'm saying? Starting a whole family. Now it's harder to do it. Kids have those dreams and aspirations to do it when they get out of high school, but financially, man, you a fool to try to do that nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Even going to school, you got a lot of people who are not even trying to go to college because it's expensive. And so I have no problem. But look, I want to read a quick article from the Oklahoman.com, and it reads, Stitt post on graduation requirements sparks outrage. What is classrooms to careers? It says a social media post made by Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt has sparked confusion and frustration among parents who see a potential change in the state's graduation requirements as forcing their children to the military or careers if they do not attend college. Oklahoma has no such law or initiative, but commentary on comments made by the governor led to widespread speculation online. On December 27th, Stitt shared a post on social media titled Classroom to Careers that detailed 4 elements of education in Oklahoma that were addressed over 2024, including high school graduation requirements and credit for career tech programs. Hell, I know out here in Texas, or in this part of Texas, You can get dual credits. You can in high school. I know my youngest daughter. I don't know if my oldest daughter did it, but I know my youngest one. She took classes while in high school to get college credits. I know they have programs to where these kids can get a 2-year associate's degree by the time they graduate high school. These are things you need to take advantage of if if you have dreams and aspirations to go to school. Yes, it does require that you, at a younger age, you start thinking about your future. Or at a younger age, you got to start thinking about your kid's future. Yes, junior high, early high school. It ain't none of this when I'm gonna graduate now. Let me see what I'm gonna do. No, I mean, shoot, if you want to become and talk about you want to be an adult at 18, like we were when we was kids, shoot, sorry, you really do need to be getting ready by the time you're 14, 15. What they tell you, by the time you're 13, you stuck in you're pretty much the person you're gonna be by that age. So why the hell you can't start really looking into your future to see what you want to do, because you can't wait to the last minute because there's too many people, too much competition out there with people your age, people younger, people older, and they're trying to get those spots. So if you want to sit there and procrastinate, it's gonna be gone. Opportunity is gonna be gone. What it say? It say in the caption of the post, the governor said Oklahoma is turning classrooms into career launch pads, and that we want to prepare every student for success in the workforce. Exactly. Hold on. Over the weekend, the governor drew backlash as parents and educators read Stitt's comments as potentially requiring students to be accepted in a college, a trade school, or join the military in order to graduate. So he did put a post up. So he's going to turn classrooms into career launch pads. I don't see nothing wrong with that because, again, people love to talk about the negative, what the government ain't doing for these kids, what they are doing to make sure that they fail and end up in prison, and how they not helping. Well, this guy came up with a plan. The problem is, in order to get in the middle, you have to have something to the far left. Not talking politics, just just talking. If something's to the far left or left, all the way to the side, in order to meet in the middle, you have to come up with a plan that's way over here on the other side. And then y'all actually meet in the middle somewhere, maybe. When something gets too far gone, you know what the solution is? You got to wipe it out and restart. You got to revamp it. Not necessarily destroy it or get rid of it, but you have to wipe it out, destroy destroy the process of the program, and figure something else out, which in turn may create something that you're not going to like. That's going to be like very like what you call it extreme. You might deem it extreme, but it's what has to be done to offset. It's like the stock market. If you ever study the stock market, when there are like major gains, there's going to be a collapse, and you're going to lose a lot. You may lose damn near all of it, but you can't panic because it has to, because it's how you balance the market. But thing you have to know is the market always goes up. Eventually it's going to always go up. It's never going to just continue to go down, go down, go down, because they're not in the business to lose money. That's how life is. That's how everything, all aspects of life is. When something gets too good, there's going to have to be a drop to offset, to balance the market. But you're going to always have more goods than bads. These fears appear to stem from Stitt's subsequent comments about the post to news outlets, where he listed the three pathways as strong options for Oklahoma students post graduation. Oklahoma does not have a law forcing college, career tech, or military attendance on high school students to graduate. They say later, Stitt's office clarified to Fox 25 that the comments made were ideas, not an initiative or a plan. The governor's office has not responded to Oklahoma. Okay, so what are parents saying? In response to Stitt's initial post on Friday, several families took to social media to express the importance of flexibility in their children's futures. You know, that's a problem too. Too many options. When people have too many options, and this is another statistic that they put out there, is that when you give people too many options, a lot of times they don't do anything. They don't succeed in anything because they're gonna go back and forth, switching. If you got a whole bunch of options, they're gonna go to option A, option B, option C, because when option A get a little tough, they jump to option B. When that get a little tough, they might jump to option C, and then so on and so forth. They might even go back to option A to see maybe they can do it again. And once it get a little tough, they'll never succeed. But if you say, hey, you got this option, swim, sink or swim. That's all you got. Because hey, sink or swim. That's a great analogy. Because think about it. You can sink, swim, or let's say you just float along the ocean. You know what I'm saying? You just laying there not doing nothing. Hell, who knows? You ain't progressing, but you ain't getting better. Then you mess around, risk to increase your potentials of getting eaten up by fish and sharks. You either go ahead and just drown, or you go ahead and turn around and you put that work in and you try to swim your butt back to the back to land. So like I said, you can either sink. So yeah, you can either sink or swim. You give that option, people are more likely to do something, to make something happen. It's a many note that children with learning or intellectual disabilities may not be suited to any of these three choices. Okay, that's understandable. If that's the case, I'm sure they can work something out. But if everybody don't have a lot of y'all do have disabilities. But anyway, everybody don't have a disability. But yeah, I mean, there's ways. I know people that are like, missing a chromosome, born with mental defects and stuff. There's a living area not too far from where I live at where those people there, they can function though. They can work. They can even have families if need be. They got places where they can go and get taken care of. So people love to make excuses for their kids. They let your kids grow. Others fear that restricting graduates to college, military, or technical programs will hinder artists or musicians seeking to join the workforce in their own way. There are colleges that have programs for musicians, for students like engineers, for musicians, for artists. You can do this. And it may even benefit you to go to school to learn from people who got experience in those fields. Could minimize the failures and the disappointments that you go through when you actually go through a structure. You see what I'm saying? So it may not even hinder your artistic uh, ability or creativity. It may enhance it because it can show you a different way how to do things, and then you can teach others how to do it. You see what I'm saying? Quote: How about letting students and their families decide what is best for them? One Facebook commenter say, "Yeah, you can decide, but I'm sorry, even grown folks got rules." What are Oklahoma new school graduation requirements? Oklahoma legislators passed and still approved several graduation requirement bills in 2024. None of them force students to exclusively follow one of three pathways, but many other measures are aimed at expanding the career tech footprint within Oklahoma schools. House Bill 3278 requires a school district's board of education to establish pathway units and modify graduations and curriculum requirements. This bill ultimately changed the graduation requirements by aligning a student's course with their individualized career and academic plan, allow them to take more classes toward a certain career. Again, if you're trying to be grown when you get out of high school, doggone it, what is wrong with learning how? The high school I went to, they had it was what would you call it? We had clusters to where you can actually learn a trade. You can learn like what was I was in graphic arts. You can learn like horticulture. You can learn how to work on airplanes. You can learn how to work on cars. You can learn how to paint cars, welding. People doing what do you call cosmetology. They had programs you can learn in high school. Because I know a guy right now who tells me all the time, man, he went to a different school than I did. He was way older than me. But he was telling me, man, I told him what high school I went to. He said, oh man, I went to that high school to learn how to do welding. In the daytime, they would, he said, I went to this school, but to learn how to weld, they sent me to this. I would go to this school, at like the first part of the day to learn how to weld. He said, I made a career out of it. Yeah, I made a living out of that. That's what, I'm saying, need to be offered, need to be make sure it's brought back, put into more schools. Again, they got a lot of schools where you can get 2-year degrees before you get out of high school. Man, it's about the future. And the future is now. You can't afford to waste years to figure out what you're going to do. You just get out there and do it. Hell, I became a nurse when I was what, 40, 40 give or take, 40, 41, something like that. I mean, shoot, but I was trying to figure things out. But hell, I also had, family and stuff, and then trying to get back on track. So you don't want, like I said, you don't want to waste them years like that. Is this linked to Project 2025? Lord, it's unclear but unlikely. Many on social media were quick to claim that a graduation requirement for students to join the military reflected a sentiment shared in Project 2025, an initiative launched by a conservative think tank, the Heritage Foundation for the next conservative president to transform the federal government. In the section on improving military recruiting and retention, Project 2025 recommended requiring all students in schools that receive federal funding to take the military entrance exam. Well, I mean, hell, if you want something, you got to give something. Ain't that what life is all about? But like I say, man, I don't really see a problem with what he's saying. I mean, it might be you might deem it as extreme, but nah, you gotta force kids to think and come up with something with their life to be productive members of society. Hell, I also looked at, let me see. I don't want to see this. See if I can find it right quick. And I might have erased it. No. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. So I wanted to look at like Oklahoma crime statistics, right? And crimes against a person in 2024. It had like total of 65,000. And I say crimes because I want y'all to understand something. You got simple assault with like over 30,000, intimidation, 15,000, aggravated assault, 12,000, got fondling, the R word, kidnapping, sodomy, blah, 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 blah. Go down, down, down. You see your demographics for victims. 38,000 was women, 25,000 were men, and 1,500 was unknown. I don't know how you ain't know, but hey. And then we looked at the age demographics. Under 18 was almost 12,000. Between the ages of 20 and 29 was 14,000. And between 30 and 39 was 13,000. And it goes down, down, down to the older you get. Race. The majority of them was the victim were white folk. Of like 43,600. Then the next was black with 12,600, and so on and so forth. You got ethnicity. I don't want to talk about that. Victim type. It was an individual. Keep going. Now the demographics for offenders. The majority of them were men, 42, almost 43,000. It was female, 17,000. And the unknown was 3,000. I guess it was like unsolved crimes or whatever, or people that's missing. Who knows? Now here's a kicker. 10,300 of them of the offenders were under the age of 18. Okay, that's not graduated high school yet, right? Probably say, okay, it is what it is. Okay, that's a lot for kids to be offenders, but you got a lot of youngsters who trying to, be gangster thugs, sell dope, saying, run the streets, be gang members. You're gonna be your youngsters. And then there's a big drop between the ages of 18 and 19 at it's only like one or 2 years, but like 2,200 crimes. Now, from the ages of 20 to 29 is 12.5 or 12,500. And from the ages of 30 to 39 is 13,840. Now, I say those numbers because of this. When you get out of high school or you become an adult, if you don't have a plan those first couple of years, you might just wait around and do nothing. Not really hurting nobody, not really helping nobody, just around trying to make it. Once you get into your 20s and 30s, you start to realize that your life is probably wasting away. And now if you have no career path, you have nothing going for you. Selling weed and selling dope and selling meth has not turned out the way you thought it would. You probably 9 times out of 10 become an addict yourself. Oh, the gang banging lifestyle at 2029 hits differently than it does before, when you were a kid. Because by that time, doggone well, really, you shouldn't be doing that, but no other life. And so the uptick of crimes starts in the 20s and then in the 30s. And then by the time you get 40s, 50s, it's a down tick. It's either you're dead or you're in prison, or you done or you done calm down. So if you can get a child to have a career, go to school, learn a trade, go to the military, do something with their life, the crime rate between the ages of 20 and 40 will drop dramatically. Drastically. I'm trying to put drastically and dramatically into one word, dramatically. And you won't have this high, you won't, your crime rate will drop and you won't have these big problems. It's a victim to offender relationship, outside family, but known to victim, about half of the crimes are committed by people you know. Within the family, a quarter of the crimes. Not known by victim, like almost 16,000, and then other is 2,200. Crimes are proximity, based on proximity. I always remember this: either who you know or somebody close to what close to you. So when you talk about robbing, let me see. They really don't say exactly what type of crimes they are. I'll tell you the truth. Well, they did simple assault, like assaults, intimidation, aggravated assaults. I don't really see anything about robbery, but a lot of times it's going to be you just committing crimes or something. But anyway, if you can get people on the right track, man, your crime rate will go down. When people can take care of themselves, and people respect themselves, and feel they have something to live for, you can cut crime down a lot. So again, is his I don't think his plan is really extreme. It's like, look, kids, if you want to graduate, you gotta, because basically you got the school system, it's gonna force the school system, number one, to do its job. That's the first thing. It's gonna force parents to do their job. It's going to force parents to actually take an active role in their child's life if they want them to be something in life, instead of sit here and talk about it. Instead of being like the lady in Baltimore who some's supposed to be a senior getting ready for graduation and come and find out he only got 2 credits. That boy know he only had 2 credits. And while she's sitting there crying and boo-hooing, this fool's in the back room playing video games. And she wonder what the problem is. But if you have programs like this, but you're going to be able to separate the wheat from the tares real easy with a program like this. And yes, people will be left behind probably more than what they should be. Too many kids. You've seen videos. I've done videos where it shows too many kids cannot read. Junior high kids cannot read on the 3rd grade level. Going into high school, can't pass, but there's no child left behind or whatever. They're gonna make sure they're gonna find a way to make sure these kids graduate or move up no matter what, because of federal funding, instead of actually teaching these kids how to be productive members of society. Something like this will curb, slow down, maybe even stop that behavior, because you're gonna have to put in some work. And that's the way it's supposed to be. It's not Nothing gets better if all you do is complain about it and you don't put a plan in action. And sometimes it's like, shoot, you gotta do something drastic. I remember coaching back in the days, softball team, or even basketball team, when we have a bad outing, a bad game, a bad tournament, and it's like, I don't know what the heck these youngins are doing out here. We'll turn around, right around, and have an I quit practice. Well, we're gonna practice or drill it in. We say, hey, make sure y'all hydrated, make sure you don't eat no cheese, no dairy before practice, because we finna work in practice, because we're gonna figure out what we did wrong. And we call it I quit practice, because we have had people who say, I don't want to do this no more. Now, we ain't trying to work until you die. We know where to stop. But we have people that, hey, if you really want this, then act like you want it and let's do it. But you have to go to an extreme in order to get people to get their act rights on. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you maybe a couple minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here. If you'd like to support us financially, you can get super thanks, super chat, super stickers, and there are links in the description box that you can click on to help us out there. But with that being said, I leave you in peace.